Stormy Strike here, and welcome to this unboxing video. This is just showing a bunch of different models I've gotten recently. Now, I did give myself a New Year's resolution, sort of, not really for the whole year, but I just told myself I wasn't gonna buy any more models between January 1st till BreyerFest at the end of February. And I already broke that little resolution there because one of the models I'm going to show you in this video I did buy this year in January. But all of these other models I did buy in 2021, so those ones technically don't count against the resolution. I do also have one model here that I had traded, so that one also does not count. So I'll show you which model I ended up buying at the end, which broke my kind of like mini New Year's resolution. Without further ado, let me start showing you some models. The first model to show you here is the Glossy 70th Anniversary Fighting Stallion. I was able to trade my extra glossy Indian pony for this guy with someone on Instagram, and he is really pretty. The gloss really does make his coloring look extra nice and really pop. He is such a cool looking guy. I do also have the matte one handy, so I can kind of show you and compare those two guys of the gloss versus the matte. I think they both look great, but the gloss, again, it really does just make that color pop. The matte one, however, does have like a little bit more of a metallic look to him. Like especially on his flank here, you can see he's got kind of a more metallic shine. Whereas it seems gloss does tone down like the metallic look of things, because it's the same on the American Saddlebred. He doesn't look as metallic when he's glossy compared to the matte one. So there's the Glossy Fighting Stallion. So I now have 3 of the 5 different 70th anniversary glossies, and maybe at some point I will track down the other 2, but not right now. I am seriously trying not to spend any more money on models for a little bit. Next year, I have the last 2 releases for the 2021 Stablemates Club, and so I'm going to go ahead and start opening these. Now, I actually did not join the Stablemate Club for 2022, which was a very hard decision, but I was just not crazy about the releases this year. And I was already going to be joining the Premier Club, which is pretty expensive, so I decided to kind of use any money that would have been for the Stablemate Club to instead go towards the Premier Club. This is actually going to be the first year I didn't join the Stablemates Club. Since the Stablemates Club came out, I've been in it every single year, so it's kind of weird not to be in it next year. Let's see who this one is. On the back it says it is the 2021 SM Club SR, which means that it is going to be the little stablemate foals. Go ahead and unwrap these cute little guys. Here is the little Clydesdale foal. How adorable. Ooh, this one does look really nice too. Okay, well, I spoke a little too soon. There is a tiny bit of hair in the gloss right there, but otherwise this model looks so nice. The color on it is so pretty. The markings look really nicely done. How adorable and tiny. I actually do not have models on either of these 2 stablemate molds yet, I don't believe. It is a very cute mold. I really like its little tail sticking up. That's so cute. It's got some really nice little details and such, and very nicely done with the molding, like just very small and detailed. Super adorable. And then on to the next one. This one I'm not quite as big of a fan of. I will admit I like that little kind of Clydesdale foal more. But this one is also going to be pretty cute, I bet. There we are. Oh, this one is pretty cute too. This one feels like a little less detailed compared to the little Clydesdale. At least for the mold, like this one's mold just feels a little bit more detailed compared to how this one came out with production. But it is still very cute and small and tiny. It's got a cute little blanket Appaloosa spots on it. And a pretty nice color too. I like that color quite a bit. Very cute, and as you can see, they are also both very glossy and shiny. Now we move on to Twist, who is the new sculpture for 2021, but he's also technically not a new sculpture. He's a new sculpture for Breyer's lineup, but it's actually a sculpture that's been around for quite a while. It's been done in resin. It's actually been done by a different model horse toy company in a different size. WIA, I believe, is what they are called, which I don't have any of their models, but they look really nice and I need to get one at some point. So, while this is not technically a new mold, it is new for Breyer and new to the stablemate scale. Here we go. Here is little Twist, and this is a fun little striking Arabian in a kind of fun Rubicano chestnut color. I think he does look very nice as a little stablemate. I do like his coloring quite a bit. He's got some nice kind of variation in shading on his mane and his tail. And his little Rubicano spots are pretty cute. They are a little bit big for a stablemate size, but that's not too surprising. It's kind of hard to get those really in scale, especially on a mass-produced model. But I still really like the color. I think it looks really pretty. He's got some fun little spots around his tail, which are supposed to be there, by the way. I saw lots of posts when people started receiving him wondering if those spots were supposed to be there or if they were a mistake, but they are in fact supposed to be there. And it's just very cute. It does look like his front leg is a little bent. Let me see, is that just me or is his front leg bent? No, it is definitely bent forward a bit, I think. I don't think it's supposed to be bent forward that much, but that's okay. We can probably fix that. Kind of at a funky angle, but with a little bit of heat, it might be able to be bent back into a bit of a straighter place. But there you guys have it. There is adorable little Twist. I guess while I'm on the topic of the Breyer 2021 club models, I'll go ahead and show you the 2021 Premier Club third release models, Firefly and Hawkeye. Now, I'm actually not in the Premier Club, so I did have to buy these models secondhand, but there's been a lot of people selling them very close to cost, so I got them very close to at cost, which was awesome, because I had to have these two in my collection. I seriously had to have them. I absolutely love this mare especially. I do like the foal a lot too, which I'll show in a sec. But I just adore this mare. Her pose is so cute and sweet. I just really like that she is a nice, simple little stock mare, and I really like her low head carriage, and I can't wait to customize a model on this mold at some point too, because she is like the perfect look for my horse persona, which I'm actually still working on like redesigning a bit, but one day I want to customize my horse persona on this mold because this mold just fits it really well, and I just love this model. She is so pretty. I love her coloring. She's got some kind of bit of shading variation in her mane and her tail. Tail actually comes down to a nice white. And her and the foal also are sort of modern chalkies, kind of. They basically just have a white base coat of paint on them before they are painted, so they do not have the bare plastic showing for their white markings. Their white markings are actually white paint. I know a lot of people were not a fan of this girl's color, but I just love it. I think it is so, so pretty and very unique too. We don't really get this kind of roan color very often from Breyer. In fact, I don't even know if we've ever gotten this kind of roan color from them before or not. Maybe something similar, but kind of a different shade. And I just love her markings too. She's such a pretty Sabino. Her face is so sweet. I absolutely love her eyes. They are so big and expressive. She is just so cute. Oh my gosh, I love her so much. I know a lot of people have gotten really flawed versions of these. These two do have a few flaws here and there, but it's been nothing major for me that has bothered me or anything. I think the only thing that kind of bothers me on her is she does have a little bit of ear rubs, so I might try to like touch those up with paint at some point. But otherwise, her other flaws are very minimal and hardly noticeable to me unless I'm like really looking for them. But gosh, she is just so pretty. Look how pretty her belly is too. She's got a really pretty big old belly Sabino spot there. You can see those really nice markings on the backs of her legs. Oh my gosh, I just love her so much. She is amazing and gonna be probably one of my new favorite Breyer molds. And I'm definitely gonna try and conga her in every color that she comes out. And as I said before, I also do want to customize her at some point as my horse persona, and then maybe even customize her as other colors and things, because I just love her so much. She's so pretty. But let's now go ahead and talk about Firefly. I do like Firefly a lot. I'm just not really into collecting foals too much. I do like a lot of Breyer foal models. I'm just not as crazy about collecting them like I am the bigger models. This little girl is so cute though. She is so expressive. I know a lot of people don't like her neck, I found out for some reason. I actually like her neck quite a bit. I know it does look a little long, but I feel like it's more kind of feisty and expressive with her head and neck up like this. Looks like she is ready to cause some mischief or play or something. She just has a lot of personality, I feel like. And I really like her little swishy tail up as well. So cute. Her coloring is so pretty. I like that she's got like this kind of lighter shading. Someone pointed out that it is kind of green, and it does look a little green, but I think it's fine. I think it looks kind of realistic enough, even though she does have kind of a green shading going on. Her spots are so pretty. Her leg markings look so pretty. I love the mapping. I forgot to mention that too, that these guys do have mapping, but you can probably already see that. I just love them. She is also actually pretty nice condition. The only issue with this little girl is a few of them I've had, where it looks like the hole in the corner of her mouth got like drilled in a little too much or something. It's a little weird, but otherwise she looks so nice. I also love her eyes. I realize actually her mouth marking is a little off. I just now realized that, but that's fine. I'm not too concerned about them being perfect. I just absolutely love them that I just had to get them. They could honestly be a little bit more beat up than they are, and I would just still absolutely adore them. They're so cute. So I really love this little girl and the mama. I know people are probably going to want size comparisons. I actually don't think I have any foals handy right now. Too much to do size comparisons for the foal. I know people are worried that the mom is like too small, but I do not think she's too small. A lot of people agree that she is, in fact, not too small. She's actually a very good size for a smaller stock horse, because stock horses do come in some pretty small sizes. I will grab some models, though, to quickly compare them with her. Sorry ahead of time that these models are kind of dusty, but just for quick comparisons here. Here she is next to the ideal quarter horse. That one is kind of just like a little bit bigger. I'm sorry, this is actually not the best camera angle to show you size comparisons. As you can see, she is smaller than her. I believe Lady Faye's actually is about the same size as the ideal quarter horse. So as you can see, she is smaller, and her head carriage also makes her look a lot smaller. But I think she is very cute being a smaller little quarter horse. There she is, kind of next to the quarter horse yearling there. They actually size up pretty close. She's just a tiny bit shorter. And I'm not going to pull out every stock horse mold I own to do comparisons with, but that kind of maybe gives you a bit of an idea. Could also compare real quick with the fighting stallion a bit, even though he's really big and chunky. He's pretty big for a Breyer traditional, but he does look kind of cute with them though. His coloring kind of matches the baby, so he actually kind of makes a good sort of stallion to go with them. Again, he's a big boy. It's going to be kind of hard to compare him, but he's kind of chunky and stuff. I do think he kind of makes a cute stallion to go with them, even though he is a little bit bigger than them. So there's Firefly and Hawkeye. I seriously cannot wait to add more models on this mold in my collection at some point. And I just adore these two models in particular. I think they are just absolutely fantastic. Let's go ahead and unbox this model. And this is actually Solar Flare, the web exclusive classic unicorn for 2021. I went ahead and ordered this guy because from what I've seen, he looks so pretty in person. And I have kind of regretted not getting some of the classic web exclusive unicorns in the past from Breyer. And I was like, I'm going to regret getting this guy if I don't get him. So I went ahead and ordered him. I was really hoping he was going to be eligible for the Collector Club Appreciation event. He was not, unfortunately. So I ended up having to order him separately from that. But I think he'll be worth it. Already we can see some of his color showing through the bubble wrap there. I also had to get this guy because he is on the mold that is quickly becoming one of my favorite classic molds, the Malik or Malik, however you pronounce it. I just think this mold is so pretty. And this guy's color is gorgeous. Look at those beautiful highlights on him. He really does look all shiny and pretty. His face is really pretty as well. This side actually has some pretty dark shading around his eye, which I think looks kind of cool. It's got a nice long horn, and just overall very shiny and pretty. And now that I hold him and think about it, I really hope they end up doing a Walmart unicorn in this mold, because they have been doing the various Walmart exclusive unicorns, and I would love to see this guy in some more fun unicorny colored colors. I don't even know what I'm saying, but he is super pretty. His tail is like super bright yellow. He's not even actually super metallic. You'd think he would be, but he's kind of not. He's maybe a little tiny bit metallic, a little bit, but really he's actually not metallic, which is really interesting. He is actually kind of just mostly straight up colors, but he's got kind of a satin finish on him, which kind of really makes them shine and pop. So he is very pretty. I am glad I went ahead and ordered him. As I said, I love this mold. He's going to make a great addition for it, and it's just a really pretty model in general. Next up here are actually 3 models to show you all, and they are the different BreyerFest limited edition Glossies. I ended up getting all 3 this year, which I talked about this in my BreyerFest videos already, but it's very rare for me to like all of the limited edition portrait models, but this year I liked all of them, so I ended up getting all of them. And also ended up ordering all of them in matte. So here is Glossy Queen of Hearts, Glossy Apollo, and last but not least, Glossy Reverence. And so I'm going to go ahead and unbox all 3 of these guys, and then also probably compare them to the matte models, because I do know where the matte models are. I just have to dig them out of a box. Alright, here are all 3 of the BreyerFest limited edition models in gloss. So I'll give you a bit of close-ups on the glossy versions of these guys, and then do a quick comparison of them with their matte counterparts. It is fun how the gloss really makes Reverence's mane really pop here. And also some of the kind of shading on his body and stuff looks a little bit more pronounced and such. Very pretty. Now, since Apollo is a lighter color, the gloss does not do quite as much of a drastic change. I don't think is going to be compared to his matte version, but he does look so pretty in gloss still. Oh my gosh, he looks absolutely gorgeous. I feel like this mold, just in general, looks pretty nice in gloss. Just how pretty dramatic and fanciful this mold feels. That gloss just really looks good on him. He is very gorgeous. And of course, the model that is going to look the most dramatic in gloss is Josie, because she is a dark colored model. And gloss always makes dark colored models just look so amazing. Here is the side of her that does not have the brindle scar-like markings on her. Unfortunately, mine does actually have a little bit of gloss issues here and there. Again, it's not super noticeable unless you like really look, but it's kind of like drippy and a little bubbly in places, which is not the greatest, but it's fine. Like I said, you can't really tell unless you're like really looking close. She is so pretty. Let's go ahead and flip her over to her other side. There we go. There's her fun brindle-like markings. Her coloring really does just look so pretty in this gloss. Alright, so let's go ahead and start doing some matte and glossy comparisons. Here is matte and glossy Reverence side by side. And it's funny because having them actually side by side like this, you can really see the kind of differences in them with just how much the gloss changes their coloring. Just changes kind of the overall look of the model. They are very cute. I really do like both of them. They're so pretty. See that pop of gloss? You can see how that gloss really makes the black pop there. But I do still really like the coloring of the matte one. They are both so pretty. I don't even know if I can choose between them, which is my favorite, because they are just kind of different looking and really, really cool. So there's Glossy Reverence and Matte Reverence together. Here is Matte Apollo next to Glossy Apollo. Again, it's crazy how much the gloss can kind of change how they look. And actually, I think these two just kind of have different color variations in general. I feel like the color on their legs from the matte one to this one, like the color is a little bit different. So that's kind of neat. Got some other differences going on between them. And their face too, I feel like they are painted a little bit differently, which wouldn't be too much of a surprise because the glossy ones were made at a different time than the original matte ones. So yeah, they definitely got some kind of differences, I feel like, in their paint jobs a little bit, which I personally don't mind. I think it's kind of cool. The glossy one here has a lot more like stripy look to his mane, or the other one, the matte one here, is a bit more of a softer look on the mane, or this one's a little more stripy. Ooh, it's kind of neat. I feel like the brand really pops on the gloss one too, where it's a lot more subtle on the matte one. The matte brand, kind of subtle, you gotta look for it. But on the glossy one, it just really, really pops. You can see it right away. Trying to show kind of what I mean about the leg coloring. You can see on the matte on the right there is kind of darker and more shaded, where the one on the left, the glossy, is less dark and shaded. A different kind of color going on there. So here is the gorgeous Glossy Apollo with the also gorgeous matte one. Again, I don't know if I can really pick between them which is my favorite. I think they are both so pretty and both look lovely in their own ways. And next here we have Matte versus Glossy Josie. And I can't find the matte one stand at the moment. I think it's at the bottom of the box she was stored in. They are really different. Oh my gosh, they're even more different than I thought. And again, I feel like they might have been painted a little differently too from their time of having different times being painted, if that makes sense. I feel like the glossy one has a lot more kind of like warmer browns going on, like a little bit more reddish, yellowish kind of undertones. Whereas the original matte one here is just a lot darker overall and kind of has a little bit less of those like lighter undertones going on. They really do just look very, very different from each other. Again, I don't think I can even pick like which one's my favorite because they're so different, these two, that it's kind of hard to say. They're both very unique looking. Just kind of more of a head-on shot of these two. So you can really see that difference there of how the color on the glossy one, not only does it look different because of the gloss, but I feel like it is painted differently. It's just got a lot more of highlights going on and such. They are both so gorgeous and interesting looking. I love them. So there are the matte and glossy Josies. And again, I'm sorry, the matte one does not have her stand at the moment. Alright, now the last model to show you in this video is the one that broke my New Year's resolution. I was not even purposely like looking to buy this model right now. He just happened to pop up for sale and he was a good price, so I just was like, alright, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and buy him. He's getting harder to find. I really like him. I've been wanting him for a while. I'm gonna regret it if I don't just go ahead and buy him. Even though he did break my New Year's resolution. He is kind of fitting though for a model to break the New Year's resolution. This is Times Square, who is a BreyerFest 2007 Decorator Special Run. It's kind of not showing it well on camera unless I zoom in here. But he is covered in beautiful, glittery fireworks markings. Ooh, and they're just so pretty and fun. And he is very much a model that represents New Year's Eve. That's why I said it's funny, he's the one that broke my New Year's resolution. This guy also does really remind me of Disneyland. I think I'm going to do kind of like a little collection maybe of horses that remind me of Disneyland for whichever reason. Probably mostly decorators. But this guy just very much reminds me of Disneyland fireworks. Just love the colors. I love the glitter on him. See that pretty glitter sparkling on those markings. He does also have some gold kind of mixed into his mane and tail. That's kind of the really only shading of color he has. Otherwise, he's pretty much a nice solid black, which I'm okay with because even though he's solid black, he is also glossed, so the gloss just makes him look awesome. He does actually have detailed eyes. His eyes are black, white, and brown, which is a pretty cool touch, I think. Kind of makes his eyes stand out a little more and not fade into the rest of his black body. He is just so pretty. I'm so glad to finally have him. I've actually had the chance to buy this guy a few times. One time at BreyerFest for a super good deal. I think there's been a few times he's been on eBay for pretty good prices, and I regretted not buying him before. Because of the current state of the model horse market being like pretty high prices on things, I paid a little bit more than I would have paid for him in the past, but it's okay because I love him so very much. He is very, very much worth it to me. I'm just so glad to finally have this guy and not have to worry anymore about trying to search for him because I just love him so much. He is so pretty. Oh my goodness. This has been quite a lot of models all kind of coming in at the same time, but I will hopefully not be getting any more models in for a while. I just seriously do not have room for them, and yet I keep getting them. Since we did quite a few glossy and matte comparisons, let me know in the comments what you generally prefer. Do you generally like the matte models or do you generally like the glossy ones? For myself, I honestly don't even know if I can pick because I like them both for different reasons. But you guys can let me know what you think if you want. Thank you so much for watching. Have an awesome day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, everyone!